one young man sticks out in my mind who touched my life greatly through this experience. His name was Connor. Connor was 12 years old, and Connor's from Australia. I got to meet him down in Orlando, Florida during the Children's Miracle Network celebration, a 4-day-long event that we throw for children all over the country, and last year was the first international event that we'd ever had. We bring these kids together for 4 days and give them 4 days of celebrating their stories at Walt Disney World. Everything from 4-year-olds to 16-year-olds sharing their stories with media outlets, with different people they came into contact with, raising awareness for this organization, also raising funds for this organization, and celebrating their success stories, overcoming their life-threatening illnesses that they're trying to overcome every single day. So I met Connor. Now the crazy thing about Connor, the unexpected thing about Connor is you name a part of his body and there's something wrong with it. Everything from being deaf in one ear, he's got a crooked spine, the whole right side of his body is shorter than his left. He only has 4 underdeveloped fingers on his right hand and no wrist bone. He has an extra bone in his left foot. He can't walk correctly. And to top it all off, he has 3 little holes in his stomach. One to feed him nutrients because his body physically can't absorb it on its own, another to empty his bowel, and another to empty his bladder because he has no control over his physical body. So you think about this kid, 12 years old, has already undergone 66 surgeries. Unbelievable. But yet this child is one of my greatest role models. He has the most positive, contagious energy and attitude about him that it will affect your life and change your life in a positive way, regardless of who you are, where you come from, or what you believe. This child will change your life. Well, a particular story I love sharing about Connor is the last day we were together. We thought, okay, as a Children's Miracle Network group, let's throw these kids a huge, lasting celebration, something that they can really go home and tell all their friends about. So we threw a big concert for them, and even people like Joe Montana showed up just to say hey. That was pretty cool. Well, Julianne Hough, most people know her from Dancing with the Stars. She's one of the professional dancers on there, but a lot of people also know her as a country music star. She also popped in to sing a couple songs for the kids. And during her most popular song, Song in My Head, I look over and I see Connor standing almost on the stage, dancing like this. And I just think to myself, that is just Connor through and through. I'm not surprised at all that he is showing off for the crowd. So during intermission, I go over to Connor. Now keep in mind, Connor and I shared a very special bond. We had the same sense of humor. We love music. We love entertaining. All of these different things we had in common. And we loved joking around with each other the whole week. He tried to teach me how to talk with an Australian accent, which I can't do, obviously. And I tried to teach him how to talk with an American accent. That's what he would do every time. So we always had this ongoing joke between each other. We called each other boyfriend and girlfriend. So during this intermission, I go over to Connor. I said, Connor, what is going on? Do you have another girlfriend? You're flirting with Julianne Hough over here. Are you two-timing me now? And this was his response. Katie, I did it for money. And I just look at Connor and I say, what? I did it for money. My mum, she dared me to do it for $20, so I did it. He showed his mom. Connor is being raised by a single mother, and despite, I can't even imagine the amount of medical bills that have piled up over his short 12 years of life, they just keep going. They find the willpower and the positivity to keep striving for every single day. An amazing, resilient child who, as I stated before, is one of my greatest role models because he put true meaning to that phrase, living life to its fullest. A child who has been faced with so many obstacles that if I were faced with those same obstacles, Do I know that I'm strong enough to stand up to them and overcome them? Well, he is. This 12-year-old boy from Australia is. Connor, as I stated before, loves music and loves to entertain. And last year, after I met with him, he had an unbelievable opportunity to meet one of the greatest pop stars in Australia. And together they cut an album. And he decided that 100% of every penny that was sold from the albums that were on sale would go straight to the hospital where he is treated. He did that all on his own. A 12-year-old child already understands the importance of community service and giving back. He knows that without those doctors and nurses and without the love and care of that hospital, he might not be here today. His mother knows that her one little angel might not be here today without that hospital, and together they made that decision. What an outstanding and tremendous young man who touched my life and continues to touch my life every single day. But I'm happy to report he's still doing well. He's now 13 years old. And how I said that he's one of my greatest role models, I will never tell him that because it will go straight to his head. But he's doing very well. He and his mother are doing wonderful. A couple additional surgeries since last I saw him, but still doing well. It's a medical miracle, he is. Amazing kid. So why do I serve? Because of those that touch our lives. The fourth and final reason that I have come up with as to why I serve is because it challenges us to be better people. Last year I had another blessing to work with a group that promotes recycling and just being more environmentally responsible that's based out of San Francisco, California. Beautiful part of the country. Got to travel there several times on their behalf and speak to different groups, particularly schools, about being more environmentally responsible. We always called it being an environmental warrior for the little kids. And one trip out there, I got to go to this elementary school. It was only 3rd through 5th grade. And I'm standing up there in front of all these kids. There were about 150 of them. And I'm talking about, you know, not using as much water in your shower or your bath, and not putting so much food on your plate that you can't finish, and, you know, recycling those cans and those bottles and paper and all those things, and trying to be more environmentally responsible. And then, as I always do, told them a little bit more about my journey as Miss America, and how much I travel, and how many states I've been in, and how many airplanes I've been on. And then I open the floor up for question and answer. And this 5th grader in the back of the room raises his hand, and I call on him, and he stands to his feet. And he grabs the microphone, and he says, "Miss America, you just got done talking to us about being more environmentally responsible, but you also just got done talking to us about how many airplanes you fly on. What are you doing to offset your carbon footprint?"